The controversy surrounding the WrestleMania 40 main event continues to intensify, so we'll see what the latest developments are there. We'll also check out what's going on with B-Fab, Jade Cargill, and much more. Starting things off with the continuous chaos and madness surrounding WrestleMania 40's main event. WWE was expecting fans to be in such an exciting and thrilling state following the confirmation of Roman Reigns versus The Rock. But as we now know, to the horrifying poor writing, they've instead received the complete polar opposite reaction from the fans. Because of how illogical and plot hole filled the segment really was, fans are now begging for the match to be reverted, instead of being thrilled like WWE was originally expecting. And it was a very hectic few days after Smackdown that saw the wrestling community basically take over social media as a whole with their discussions. The hashtag of "We Want Cody" peaked on February 3rd as the #1 trending topic in the entire country of the United States. And that hashtag stayed at the top of Twitter for pretty much the entire weekend. Fans that wanted The Rock to keep the WrestleMania spot even created their own hashtag of "We Want Rocky." But Cody's hashtag still blew that one out of the water. Another telling sign of what's to come was the WWE live event that took place on February 3rd that featured Cody Rhodes. WWE aired several highlight recaps of The Rock's return from SmackDown on the big screen for the live crowd, and it was met with lots of mixed reactions and boos. Cody Rhodes even physically appeared during the live event himself, but he didn't address The Rock's return or the social media madness surrounding the WrestleMania main event. Like we mentioned during the first breakdown of this situation, reports are still claiming that it was a move that The Rock pushed for himself and eventually got. Some reports are even claiming that The Rock has more backstage pull right now than Triple H, since The Rock is on the board of directors and Triple H is not. So if The Rock put himself into this match, a lot of fans are hoping that he also makes the readjustments to fix the situation himself. And like we touched on before, yes, The Rock versus Roman Reigns was something that a lot of people wanted to see. Literally just go back to January 1st when The Rock first dropped his teaser that he was coming after Roman Reigns. And that was met by fans in a very positive manner and had everyone excited. And it's just everything that happened in the weeks after that was basically WWE digging themselves into a hole with the story and presentation of the match. If Cody suffered some tragic elimination at the Royal Rumble and The Rock ended up winning the entire thing, sure, there still would have been lots of outrage, but at least that would have been a better reveal for the match, with Rock actually having to do something to earn it. But to have Cody win the Rumble basically teased the fans that the rematch was happening all week long, only to have Cody step aside for The Rock and literally have Cody walk away from the ring while Rock and Roman faced off in the ring. That was probably the worst way to handle the reveal, and it's very surprising to see that they actually went through with that and thought that fans would have no problem with it. So yeah, there probably was a handful of ways to handle the reveal better, but WWE decided to go in the worst reveal possible that has now given them the maximum amount of backlash and outrage as a result of that poorly written reveal. The way it was presented was just probably the worst option possible. The Rock and Cody Rhodes moment and interaction itself was just so weird and unnecessary as well. It could have been handled in a different light that didn't make it fully seem like The Rock was bullying Cody Rhodes around. But in a recent uploaded SmackDown highlight clip by WWE, they edited out Cody and Rock's interaction and Cody's walkaway, only making fans even more suspicious and frustrated. So it's going to be very interesting next few weeks of WWE television to see how they handle things with Cody, Roman, and The Rock, and how will the fans' reaction be to all three individuals. If WWE leaves the situation untouched and the negative reception towards The Rock grows during the road to WrestleMania, we'll probably see a pretty bizarre situation where Roman Reigns gets cheered for heavily over The Rock at WrestleMania 40. The Rock had a few posts since his return, reposting several fan videos of people that were hyped for his return. He also said that he's very excited for this storyline and how they're playing the long game. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits may not have an official faction name quite yet, but they do have another new member. The faction has found themselves in some deep issues with the Final Testament in recent weeks, and a key factor that the Final Testament had over Bobby's group was the fact that they had Scarlett. Karrion Kross used Scarlett a handful of times in recent weeks to handle some of the issues with Bobby's group. Scarlett had even gotten physical and straight-on attacked Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits a handful of times. So it was clear that Scarlett was quickly becoming a problem that Bobby Lashley had no counter for. But on the February 2nd edition of Smackdown, B-Fab came out to make the save and put hands on Scarlett. And we finally got that long-awaited B-Fab payoff. She was talking to Bobby Lashley a handful of times over the last few months, but things went completely silent there, making fans wonder if a part of the story was dropped. But B-Fab is back in it, and she'll be there to cancel out Scarlett in this faction versus faction battle. B-Fab has been spending a lot of time lately training in Natalya's ring, so it'll be great to see what B-Fab can put on display against Charlotte. And now that the group has officially added B-Fab, maybe this was the moment they were waiting for before giving themselves an official group name. The group's name has been rumored for a few weeks now to be The Pride, but since it was never made official, we'll have to wait and see if they stick with that name or change it up. The Royal Rumble featured a handful of surprise entrants, and it now appears to be confirmed that some of them weren't just special Rumble appearances. Most of them were actual call-ups. The February 2nd edition of Smackdown showed several new superstars that have just signed with a brand or are currently in the process of picking a brand. Naomi was the first superstar to be shown officially signing to Smackdown. But who came out of the office after her was Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany had been rumored all week long for a Raw signing, but it looks like they went with the decision to put her on SmackDown instead. Also shown to be in the negotiation process for brands were Bron Breakker and Jade Cargill. Bron appeared like he was close to signing with SmackDown, but Raw general manager Adam Pearce appeared and convinced Bron to hold off until he gets his Raw offer. Jade Cargill also visited Nick Aldis' office for a meeting about her potential signing as well. So it seems like those are the two hottest free agents that are floating around right now. It does seem like Bron Breakker will be signed to Raw since he has unfinished business with Dominic and the Judgment Day. But it looks like Jade Cargill's status definitely appears to be more of the big mystery right now. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.